Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, this is kind of a sit-down discussion. Squirrel and I are looking at getting into another side-by-side, but we each got some things coming from experience. We've had the Polaris XP 1000 Turbo. That was a 4-seater car. So we had that for a little while. And we also had the Can-Am X3 Turbo RR XRC, which was kind of the rock crawling edition, and we didn't end up keeping either one of those cars, and there are some reasons why. So we wanted to kind of discuss for our riding style, maybe our age demographic, what we're looking for in a new side-by-side, and see what boxes we got to check when we purchase our next one. So surprise, we did purchase the next one, but we're going to make you sit through all this dialogue before we actually tell you what it is. But it's really important that this unit check these boxes. So let's start from there. All right, so let's just kind of start off with the Polaris, the Turbo. That was a 4-seat car. And the X3, what was like the love-hate thing that you liked about the Polaris and you didn't like about the X3? Because I know both of them, one thing particularly you liked and one thing you particularly hated. What were those, so these guys know what we're looking for?
I mean, I was mostly the passenger. I mean, I drove some, but being the passenger, the Polaris, I loved the seats. I loved how high up I was. The X3, short girl problems, I could not see over the dash at all. And that gave me a little bit of anxiety not being able to see.
Yeah, so with the X3, so what we did on that was we had, like, I like the seats real low, so we put hers up real high, so it kind of had like this goofy seat look, so she could see up over, and I was fine, you know, being tall. But I think like my OCD kicked in, and I couldn't stand the fact that they were both up, so I ended up putting mine up too, and then I felt like my head was always hitting the roof. But I think the compromise was we ended up putting the seats back down, and she just looked out the side window and give up on the looking over the hood. So but you know, I think you know, for me, one of the big things that I liked about the Polaris, I liked the engine in that unit a lot better. It was a turbo car, but it wasn't nearly as loud as the X3. The X3, even though it had a P-drive clutch, still had this annoying whine or whistle from the CVT that was always right there in the back of your head. But it wasn't unbearable. But I think, you know, between the two, and then also the Polaris, we learned real quick that where we like to ride in like Hatfield, McCoy, and Spearheads, having that long a car on those switchbacks, I mean, you're always making 3-point turns. So, you know, we do have kids, but they generally ride their own stuff, or that we rarely held anyone, any other passengers other than us. So the 4-seat car was definitely, we've got a visitor.
Yeah.
We've got Bird taking up residency on the porch here. And I think anytime I've ever done a video out here, I've had to deal with that.
Probably.
Yeah. But so between the two, like we definitely did not want a 4-seat car. We definitely wanted a 2-door. And I think, you know, like the biggest thing for us is, you know, the X3 and the Turbo R. I mean, even the new Maverick R, those side-by-sides are so expensive. We didn't want to, you know, shell out that kind of coin on something that's pretty much going to get dirty, get muddy. We're not hardcore rock crawlers, hill climbers. I would say we're more, what would you say, just kind of mountain roads, cruising?
Yeah, we're more cruising and enjoying the view. And
yeah,
I mean, we do some crazy riding. Yeah,
but nothing that would warrant something too extreme.
Oh, no. Nice tires and we're set.
Yeah.
Good suspension.
Yeah, so we definitely want a softer plush suspension. That was one thing that we really liked about the X3 was, I mean, it had so much suspension travel. It was very soft riding. And when you're going over any rocky terrain, it just felt like, you know, you were gliding over air.
Yeah.
The Polaris, it did have somewhat of a long travel suspension. It was on the Walker Evans. It wasn't the upgraded suspension. But I think like the A-arm bushings and stuff like that within, I don't know, 700-800 miles, those were pretty much shot and just making all kinds of racket, and they weren't greasable.
The noise.
Yeah, it was very, clanky and squeaky, and a lot of the bushings and stuff weren't serviceable, so you couldn't grease them. Yeah. And they were kind of flimsy and lightweight. And I think on the other thing that we learned on both the X3 and the Polaris was, you know, both of those come with these half doors.
Oh yeah.
And we like the full door coverage. So that's something we always added, was lower doors, just to keep the rocks and stuff, like when you're going down the trail, from beating in the leg. Yeah. Yeah, so we wanted something with full door coverage. And the X3, the XRC version we had, come with full doors. What we didn't like about it was reaching in and pulling a string. You'd think on a very expensive car. I'm not going to throw out the price. I don't think she knows how much that car was.
No, I don't. We never discussed prices at all.
Yeah, so it was expensive, but you pay that kind of money for something that you got to pull a string and unlatch the door, which was kind of chintzy. But so just, you know, just a little things like that. So I think the other thing is having plenty of storage, soft suspension, a seat position where she can see over the hood.
Yes.
One thing, I want something that's not like on the Polaris. It wasn't the back and the front, or front and the back was wider than the other. So it was kind of an offset wheel combination. So if you bought wheels to square up, your rear end was a little bit narrower than your front. The X3 did have the four corners squared up, which we liked. So if you wanted to add, you know, new wheels, tires, you didn't have to worry about offsets or anything like that. The other thing we liked about the X3 was the width. It was 72. The Polaris was 64, but we put offset wheels on it, and it took it up to about like 68 or so.
Well, that was a plus and a minus too, because trail width was an issue sometimes. Oh,
with the X, yeah, with the X3, kind of, it was a tight squeeze.
Yeah.
In some spots. So I think something we would like is maybe in between, you know, like that 64 to 72, like not a full past 72, nothing narrower than a 64. Yeah, so something in between there is kind of what we're looking at. Definitely, you know, ground clearance is a plus. Big tires, bigger tires. I know, like on the Polaris, come I think with 28s or 29s. The X3 was on 32s, which I think the 30 to 32 is a good tire combination for what we do. Just because it offers a better ride. Plus, there's tons of tire options out there. Bead locks would be cool as well. We like those on the X3 because you could really air down your tires and not have to worry too much about it. So I think, what else do you think is important? I mean, aside from the accessories, like what else is important to you?
Well, I think you already mentioned storage, but that was huge. You know, we go on really long rides, pack lunches, sometimes even dinners. So having extra storage, even inside, is really nice.
Some extra room.
Change of clothes, that was always helpful. Remember, we got rained down really bad a couple times.
Yeah.
Or mud. Lots of mud.
Or mud.
Yep. And we would have been miserable if we were stuck in the clothes we were wearing. Yeah. So change of clothes helps. Shoes too. Cup holders. We were cup holder poor.
Yeah, actually, I think there was a few in the Polaris, and then we ended up adding like one on the grab bar up there, so you could have, you know, you could put your bottled water and stuff up there. And I think the X3 was kind of limited on space on the inside.
It was.
And we ended up buying a bunch of bags.
Yep.
But you know, on the X3, the more bags you add, the tighter the cockpit kind of got.
It did. I think leg room.
Yeah, definitely a leg room. I mean, you had like a lot of leg room, but like the knee height, it was just kind of short and cramped. So I'd want something that's more spacious for sure.
Yeah.
And then have that compromise of seating position that's not like utility Ranger style, and you know, maybe not race car X3 style. So somewhere in between.
Yep, I agree.
Like Polaris seating with better seats.
Yes.
Without spending money on new seats.
I was just gonna say, without having to get other seats.
Yeah, because you can accessorize these things to do whatever you want, but you know, we want to be as little out of pocket, get the most value for our buck, and check as many of the boxes that we're already talking about from the get-go.
You got it.
All right, sounds easy. So we're gonna go shopping, and then we'll bring you guys back, and maybe she's wrote a check. I don't know. We'll find out. So stick around. All right, so one of our big things about our next unit was, can you see over the hood?
Yeah, absolutely. I can see everything. And I've got my handle back.
Oh yeah, the X3 didn't have the handle. We never mentioned that.
Oh yeah, we forgot.
What do they call that? The oh crap
handle.
Okay, yeah, we're being good here.
Yeah.
And then also we got cup holders. I think there's like 7 or 8 in here.
Oh my goodness, they're everywhere. Here on the door, there's 2 in the back.
Yep.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
Plenty of headroom. We did throw a couple things on there. The dealer had a demo windshield. He gave that to us. Pretty awesome guy.
Yes.
Andy over at Mid-Ohio Power Sports. Go check him out. Great dude to work with. But yeah, so on the inside, I'm going to swing the camera around and just kind of give you an overview of the dash layout and what's different on the Trail Edition versus just the base model. But yeah, let's switch cameras around and take a look at the inside. All right, as you can see, full doors. It does have an outside door handle, which is really cool. But looking inside the car, we have a digital display here. This isn't a TFT screen or anything like that. Seats are, you know, very plush, very upright. On this unit, you're going to have a factory 4500 worn winch. So all the controls are right here. It also comes with a remote. Squirrel, grab out of the glove box here. I don't think we've even looked at it yet, but I believe it comes with a remote as well.
It did.
Yeah. So it comes with a wired remote as well. So that plugs in, and there's an accessory port on the inside of the glove box, so you can plug that in. This, like I said, the dealer threw in this Super ATV windshield. We're not sure if we like it or not, but for free, we're going to roll with it for a little bit. All right, let's take a look at some of the instrumentation here. So one cool thing is the display goes up and down with the steering wheel, so the steering wheel, you can always see the dash. It's never not visible. So you have your gear selection, tachometer, 2 and 4-wheel drive. It does have a CVT belt pump. Blah, 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 blah.
It happens.
Wow, what are we gonna do this? Okay. It does have a CVT temp gauge, which is kind of cool. A lot of guys will add those to your X3, especially if you're running big tires, burning belts off, and don't do any clutch work. I'll digress. Your miles, battery voltage, and then your speedometer. Clock up front. Very basic, very nice, crisp display. And we'll go ahead and fire it up just real quick. So there you go. You can see your tack working. It's in neutral. One thing I will say, it is a little bit noisy in here in comparison to, you know, a non-turbo car like a Polaris XP 1000, something like that. But take a quick look down here on your gear selection. You have high, low, neutral, and reverse. So you don't see a park, which you have an e-brake here, which we thought was kind of cool. If you're ever going to street legal a car, it does require an e-brake, at least in our state. So it's cool that comes with it. Right here you have your 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, and then your locker. So we can kind of show that real quick. You can here engage 4-wheel drive. You got to make some movement forward or backwards for the front to engage. And then also there's your lock to lock your differential, which is really nice. And then also on the Kawasaki, you have a low power mode, which from what I can tell, it just kind of takes some of the pep out of the engine, you know, if you're doing any rock crawling, things like that. And then over on the left side of the dash, if Squirrel can see it, you've got your light switch, so your low and high beam. Pretty basic, pretty basic.
Don't forget storage.
Oh, let's talk about storage. So we have our glove box here. Kind of a foam seal here. I don't know how much water it's going to keep out, but it's got a nice rubber positive grommet stop up here, which is a little tricky because we have this windshield from Super ATV, but it's a storage unit up top here. It does have a gasket. And then if you're going to do, like, this is just kind of a big bulky space. A lot of the versions will have like their stereo equipment, radio, things like that right here. We're not sure what kind of audio system, if at all, we're going to put one in, but that's where this space would go.
Cup holder.
Cup holders. And there's cup holders on the doors.
Yeah, that's nice.
Wait, where's the cup holder on this side?
Oh, wait, I got a cup holder.
You got a cup holder.
You don't have a cup holder.
What? You got ripped.
Well, this is forever going to be my side.
We got 1, 2 here, 2 in the back, and plenty of space behind there.
It is tons of space.
Yeah, tons of space. All right, guys, thanks for checking out the video. So just kind of a long-winded video to kind of introduce you to what we decided on purchasing, the 2024 KRX or Kawasaki KRX 1000, the Trail Edition. So be looking for some more videos. Probably let her drive, and then I'll sit in the passenger seat and scream. What do you think?
I like it.
Oh, she likes it. Okay. But look for some more videos. We're going to be heading back down to Half of McCoy, obviously. Spearhead Trails, which are my favorite, because I've got family there, and she always is like, are we seriously going to go to Coal Canyon again? I'm like, yes, we are.
Yes.
But great trail system.
It is.
Great campground. But anyways, if you guys would, please, if you like these videos, you want to see Squirrel Roll, the new KRX, hit that subscribe button, hit the share button, like those videos. We really appreciate it. Also, check out the description in this video with all of our channel sponsors. They've really helped us out, sending us products, gear, things like that. And we appreciate it so much. So check them out. Use their links. It gets you a discount. Also supports us in these ventures. But until next time, guys, the bugs are terrible today. We appreciate you, and God bless.